Here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
Such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop up the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
All right. The ladies of the morning are back with more activated mornings. This time we are in our cup chat segment. And joining us in studio this morning, we have Mr. Joel Woodley, who is a Justice of the Peace, and Mr. Gavin Jackson, who is also a Justice of the Peace. And they're joining us this morning to discuss the topic, the roles and functions of a Justice of the Peace. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning? All is well?
Well, it took a while to get here.
Uh,
On the place before.
But you came in early though. So good. Come on. Mm-hmm. All right. So how are you guys doing? Okay.
We're doing that.
You're doing fine. All right. So tell us a little bit more about yourselves. Yes, we know you're Justices of the Peace, but let us know a bit more about yourselves. Mr. Woodley.
Yeah, okay. Well, good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Well, I'm a retired businessman. Let's start that way. But when you say retire, I'm still doing work around the community and keeping myself busy.
That's how you stay young. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What can I say? You want me to expand?
It's up to you. It's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable saying.
Well, I'll leave it there for now.
Oh, okay.
As time goes by.
All right.
Okay. Gavin Jackson. I'm from Glenside, Mesopotamia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher by profession. Actually, if you put all the years together since 1982, that's about 42 years. Right. So I teach at Mountain View Academy in Richland Park. I'm an elder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Mesopotamia. I'm a farmer also. And the JP duty is almost every day you do this.
Okay.
They call upon to do it.
Okay. All right. So,
All right. So we're getting straight into the discussion. And of course, we got to start with the very first thing. Who is a Justice of the Peace?
Okay. All right. A Justice of the Peace is someone that is appointed by the Governor General. Mm-hmm. That person should be fit and proper in regard to their conduct within the community and so on. And they would be recommended to the Governor General through whether it's the representative of the area or through cabinet. And once you're good and proper within your community, you are considered to be appointed.
Curiosity, do you have to be over a particular age to be a Justice of the Peace, though? Do you know? Yeah.
Well, I never questioned that,
Because young people like myself, would like to, Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have never questioned that.
Okay.
I think probably between the ages of, I'm not quite sure, 30 to 70.
Okay.
Between that age group. So I'm not show exactly, but I think you could go over 70. Right. So whereas you're appointed within that range, then you're okay.
Okay. All right. So what are generally some of the roles of the Justice of the Peace?
Okay, well, the role of the Justice of the Peace is to endorse documents for people from your community or throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent once you know that person. Documents such as passports, birth certificates, application, and any other document that may be need notary public signatory. So the role is really wide and varied in terms of what you can do.
Okay.
Along with that, you also could attend the police could call on you to attend the police station to witness caution statement and so forth.
Okay.
But also the Justice of Peace has almost the same powers as the magistrates. You could you issue warrants of arrests, and you could also be able to charge people with offenses, whether punishable by summary conviction or indictment, right? So such warrants and administer oaths as administered by the law.
Okay. So Mr. Woodley mentioned signing of documents, etc., right? So suppose I live in a community, but you don't necessarily know me because let's say you don't see me around. Can you actually sign a document for me?
No. Okay. Let's put it in this way. I may not be in that community that you are, but you're probably struggling to find a justice of the peace in your community. Now, if I know someone in that community who is obviously a person of character and integrity and can vouch for you, because you see, the issue is really to assist the community in getting things done. And so if someone in that community can vouch that they know you and that person who is vouching is of good standing and integrity, we can work on that basis. But the general thing is that we must know that individual for a given period of time. So for another example is, for instance, if someone come to me and asks me to sign a passport form, I don't know them. But the passport requires that I know that person for 5 years at least. I wouldn't sign it because I don't know them, and that document is a very important document that you must know. However, there's an exception. If let's say I know someone who have a child, when the child is applying for a passport, I know the mother. But the child, and I know she has that child, the child may be 4 or 5, or not 5 yet. I could actually sign on behalf of the mother that that child is true and firm. Yes.
Okay. So before we go on, what would a person do in a situation like that where the Justice of the Peace doesn't know them in the time that is needed? What do they do in that case?
Well, you could refer to another Justice of the Peace within their area. And that is very critical. What probably a suggestion is that Justice of the Peace throughout St. Vincent have a list, you publish it, often that these individuals have contact numbers, so we could always cross-check. Because it's also difficult for somebody to say immediately want something done, and you can't do it for them. So you really have to find someone who knows the individual. But the jurisdiction, in terms of the Act, every Justice of the Peace shall extend throughout St. Vincent and Grenadines, right? So, but as Mr. Woodley says, that you don't know the person and you just have to validate that.
I was actually, on my list of questions, I was asking, where can I find out who the Justice of the Peace are? Because where they reside, because in my community, I don't know I probably just need to ask around, to be honest, but I don't know who they are. So how do people know? Also, is it a case where you set up, let's say, if there's a community center within the different constituencies, do you set up, let's say, on a Saturday to deal with all matters, or it's just as they come and people come to your residential home to handle, to get things sorted? How does it actually work?
Yeah. Well, it's a matter of individuals. And sometimes some people who know where you live, they will come to your home. And okay, let me wind back. You asked, how do they know where a justice of the peace? Well, the first instance, you should call their local police station, because the local police station will have that list of justice of the peace, and the local police would give them that justice of the peace number, and they could make contact in that way. When we're dealing with individuals, that they can come to your home if they know where you live, or you can meet them somewhere which is close by enough to thing. However, if they're at a distance, you would ask them, because, for instance, I'm in let's say Honnestville, and somebody is in Georgetown who I know very well, and they want me to come to Georgetown, because sometimes you have to go out to people who are in bed, who are sick, cannot move, and so on, and they want me to reach out there. They should actually assist me with transportation to get out there, and I will go.
Okay. I was going to ask, can you accept money for your services?
No, the service is free.
Okay.
But at the same time, even as much as the service is free, as like the example I just gave, if someone want me to come to Georgetown, they could say, well, I'll put $20 gas in your vehicle. And that's the only exchange of monies.
But would you need to disclose that you've accepted money? Do you disclose it to anyone? Because the reason why I'm asking is that yes, Justice of the Peace are reputable individuals, right? But we also know that there are sometimes humans can be humans, right? So if it's a case where, let's say, somebody is a rogue Justice of the Peace and they are accepting money, would you generally need to disclose that you've accepted, let's say, the $20 to put in your gas? Does that happen?
Well, I've never had to deal with that situation. You know, there's been times when someone asked me to come a distance, and I explained that and so on. But then the service wasn't needed anymore, so I never had to deal with that.
Okay.
So I normally, almost on a weekly basis, do recommendations to people. You know, sign all the documents, but I have to get it typed and so forth. And I have to enlist the services of somebody to do that. So it is a cost in that aspect. So with that, to defray that cost, they will really have to pay for the document, not necessarily pay me, because the cost of the document. So in that case, but we don't, numerous, I mean, I suggest also that maybe the Justice of the Peace may get a little stipend, maybe from the government. There's a lot of work.
Oh, sorry, it really is free?
Free as,
Yeah, totally.
I honestly thought you guys were being paid from government or something.
No.
But
Oh, wow.
it's good to do it free, because you have a level of satisfaction that you have helped individuals, and they're numerous. Sometimes that help come back in kind, because the people are nice, kind to you, but yeah, it's free.
I am just thinking, because I have a friend who's a Justice of the Peace, and I'm just thinking of the fact that somebody's always calling him, or people are always coming to his home, showing up. And, it's a little bit, yes, it is something that you have signed up for, but it can also be a bit of an inconvenience as well, so.
Well, to show that people call you all different hours of the night, right? Two, the police also enlist your assistance, especially caution statements. You go, you spend a couple of hours, sit with them, validate the statements and stamp it. So it takes some time out of your daily routine, and plenty people are busy. So, but as I say, it's satisfying to know that people could come to you. Some of them poor, they don't have any means of, so you could help.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So you really are pillars within your community. Okay.
Well, I'm happy to serve the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because, as Mr. Jackson is saying, the intrinsic satisfaction that you get is to know that you're able to, especially with the police, sometimes stretch with trying to administer our justice system and so on. I'm very much happy.
Okay.
All right. So why is it important for us to have this service then? Why do we need to have justices of the peace? Why are they important?
Well, Mr. Woodley just mentioned that sometimes the police serve their stretch. Sometimes they complain they don't have, like, say, transportation to reach out as far. But there are other things in the community that may not necessarily need to go to the police per se, and you're right there to help and counsel, especially young people who are some of them troubled. So they come when they have incidents of some violence may be involved, but you don't necessarily have to carry them to the police. You talk, you sit them down and counsel, and that helps a lot. So it's really good that, and if you cannot get a magistrate per se, the JP could sign warrants of arrest, search warrants, and so for the police. Right.
Okay.
And also some of the young persons who may commit crime or such, they don't have the means to have a lawyer, and the police has to have an independent witness there when they're doing their caution. So the justice of the peace assists those persons who may not be able to afford a lawyer at the given time.
All right. So in terms of the legal matters within community, let's say there's a fighting that has broken out, etc. You can turn up and you can be involved in that. Yeah,
indeed. I actually had just dealt with a witness over the weekend with a situation like that over the weekend, where a young man and an elderly gentleman had a confrontation at one of the massive store. I wouldn't identify the one. And I was there, so I was able to step in and ask for them to disperse and keep the peace and not to be arguing. Now the elderly man stepped back, but the young fellow was aggressive and he went back again. So I had to step in again. I just do not express my role as a justice of the peace, but I think it was leading to that where I was going to say to him, if he doesn't have anything, I'm going to identify myself as a justice of the peace, and I would ask someone here to help arrest you, because the justice of the peace has that power that you could ask anyone to assist you in arresting this person. I will call the police and get him arrested because his thing. So, but the situation was diffused, and I was happy to walk away knowing that it was.
Okay. Do you have identification though? Do Justice of the Peace have an identification that they walk around with?
No, and that was one of my suggestions.
Okay.
So that the police could display their badges, so the JP can also display something, because there's a growing tendency among the youths now to basically disrespect anybody at all, even those in authority. So with that in mind, you have to be properly identified or identifiable, and also in that event, you could ask the public to help you make an arrest or call the police for that matter, if you can quell the situation.
Yeah, I think even if having something displayed would be good, because whenever we see like there's a police presence somewhere, there's authority figure within wherever the environment is. So having identifiable badges or whatever it is that they can come up with would also help. If I recognize that a justice of the peace who has the powers of almost a magistrate, right, is present, then I might probably just try cool out myself, right? All right.
Okay, so right there, we will take a short ad break, and then we will get back into our discussion. When we come back from our ad break, listeners, you will get a chance to call us, interact with us. If you have questions for the gentleman, if you have comments, you will be able to do that.
Do you want to feel clean or refreshed after using the bathroom, whether at home, work, or play? Welcome to My Smart Toilet Seats. All of our products wash your private parts after using the bathroom without the use of your hands. Let's hear what our national table tennis champion, Damian Dublin, has to say.
I tried it and it works. There are 4 options. Simply add an attachment to your existing toilet seat. Or choose a non-electric seat, or better, an electric seat that washes and dries you with warm water and air. Lastly, get a complete smart toilet that also flushes itself. What are you waiting for? Get your smart toilet seat today. Be smart, be refreshed, be clean, be a winner like me.
Our smart toilet seat is available throughout St. Vincent at retail outlets with the orange flags. You can call us at 457-1703 or visit our website at justwashit.vc.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry.
We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
The OECS-led Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean, or UBEC project, has launched its call for proposals for the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program. If you're an established business owner with a micro to medium-sized enterprise in the fisheries, tourism, or waste management sector in St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, or Grenada, you could receive a grant ranging from $5,000 to $25,000 by applying via the OECS website. The deadline for applications is November 29th, 2024. Don't miss your chance to improve your business with the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program. For more information on the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program, check out the OECS website, www.oecs.int, or our social media pages, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
It's that special time of the year again. Paramedics now has all your needs for the season. We have the best in window and kitchen curtains, king, queen, and full-size in comforters and bed sheets, bathroom mattresses, bathroom towels, kitchen appliances, microwaves, ninja blenders, juicers, and toasters. Check also for your laundry detergent and fabric softeners, Victoria's Secret and Bath & Beyond creams and splashes. We carry pots, frying pans, dinner plates, teacups, and so much more. Shop early at Paramedics this Christmas to avoid the rush. The management and staff thank you for your support throughout 2024 and wish you a bright and prosperous 2025. Call us at 451-2763 or WhatsApp us at 531-9119.
Every Kendra's yard sale does feel like a Black Friday sale. And this November, the stars have aligned. So yeah, we're doing it. 2 days of yard sale, Black Friday style. Friday, November 29th, Saturday, November 30th, 8 o'clock at our factory compound, Camden Park. You get the absolute lowest prices on aluminum windows, metal doors, and wooden doors, P-trap and S-trap toilets, space basins with pedestal and cabinet, bathtubs, kitchen sinks, NutriBullet blenders, automatic sliding and swing gate opener, kitchen appliances from Jake's Kitchen, and yeah, plenty more. It's 2 days of yard sale, Black Friday style at Kendra's Aluminum Factory Compound, Camden Park. Friday and Saturday, November 29th and 30th. Sale starts at 8 a.m. Nobody comes close to Kendra's. Kendra's Aluminum Products, a tradition of excellence.
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the Lord? love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
Okay, and we are back with our cup chat right here on WEFM. This morning we are discussing the topic, the roles and functions of a justice of the peace. And with us in studio, we have Mr. Joel Woodley and Mr. Gavin Jackson, who are both justices of the peace. You can be a part of the discussion. So if you have questions or if you have comments, you can call us on 457-9997. And with that number, you can get us on our landline or you can get us on WhatsApp. So we are heading right back into our discussion. Before we went out, you were mentioning the importance of having an ID or some sort of identification for a justice of the peace. Could you just explain to us a little bit more, give us some more reasons as to why that is so important, that would be so important for the JPs to have?
Right. So it's excellent to be identified, as the police has uniform, they also have the badges and so. But the JP is in his basically like civil clothing and so on. Somebody may not know you, so they might say you're a fraudster. So you basically we need to identify ourselves properly. So maybe the government or whoever, through the Governor General, should at least find a way of, making us known to the public. Badges, whatever. Logo, something like that.
Yeah. And even having periodic, let's say, listings within the newspapers of who the justices of the peace are, would be helpful because, as I said, I really don't know many of them within our communities.
You pull it from my suggestion.
All right, go ahead.
To periodically publish the names of JPs and the communities from which they come.
All right. So we have a call at this time. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, let me say good morning to you guys there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, personally, I don't see the need for justice of the peace having ID cards. I will tell you why. Justice of the peace has judicial powers. The police has law enforcement powers. The police doesn't have judicial powers. That is to say, the police cannot sign a warrant for the arrest of somebody. The GP, just as the magistrate or the judge, has that authority. Police is a career. Anybody can wake up tomorrow and say you're no longer justice of the peace. The magistrates and judges doesn't carry identification cards. And to the best of my understanding, the powers, JP doesn't have exclusive power of arrest, as I know it, to say that they can just arrest somebody. The power they have of arrest is just like a citizen power. That's my understanding of it. I may be wrong. That is my understanding of it. I may be wrong. So, if something happens and a JP is there, yes, the respect for the office of the JP should be observed. But to say the JP has special powers, I don't think so.
All right, so that we'd
like a
allow them,
magistrate.
if you can stay on the line, so we'd allow them the opportunity to answer, okay?
So according to the Acts, it says, subject to the provisions of this Act, every justice of the peace shall have power to preserve the peace, to suppress riots and affrays, to disperse all disorderly, tumultuous assemblages, or for any of those purposes to call in the aid and assistance of all of Majesty's subjects, who shall be severally bound to obey all such lawful commands.
That is true.
Right.
A citizen have that powers too.
Okay, so the identification, because we're in the community, we're not necessarily uniform, so, and every day we deal with things that the police may not have an eye on, because, and it may be difficult to say a person who may not know you that you're a JP, that you want to obey your command. So in that essence, in that light that we are talking about identification. Okay.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I know fully what you're saying. But what I'm also saying, contrary to what you're saying, a magistrate has similar powers, don't they?
Yeah, for sure.
So then a magistrate should be carrying ID cards too.
But in this case, don't we generally know who the magistrates are? I think the problem here is that we don't always know who the JPs are. And anybody can turn up to, let's say there's a fracas that is happening. Somebody can turn up and say, I'm a justice of the peace. Now, that person may or may not be a justice of the peace. But for me to actually believe that this person is, I would like to see some sort of identification.
Yes. And if the identification of the JP is like a police, police turns up and say, I'm a police officer.
Show me ID too.
Has power. Now, what I'm saying, the police has immediate power to effect an arrest. So the JP has that?
Yes, the JP could actually ask for someone to be arrested. For instance, if I'm in your vicinity and you're standing there, I could ask you.
I know that, but I'm moving on to another point. I know that if I am as a civilian, see something going on there that is wrong, an offense has been committed, can I ask somebody to assist me to arrest the person?
No, but you could do a citizen arrest. You as an individual.
If I can't handle the situation myself, I can't ask anybody to assist me?
Well, you could ask, but that person doesn't have to follow your thing. But as a JP, that person would have to follow your command to arrest that person.
They don't have to.
They should. Yeah, right. Okay. Thanks for the correction. They should. And they will actually, even out of your sight, and if that person, let's say the person run away, but the same person who you asked to arrest them, meet up with them, they could still arrest that person because they're still under the JP instruction to do so, even that person had run away. Yes.
But we also have to remember there are certain categories of offenses for which an immediate arrest can be made. The JP should know that also.
Right.
So there are certain offenses for which the JP can arrest, or can command somebody to assist, or a citizen cannot command somebody to assist. But to move in at anything, at anyhow, I may be wrong here again, but I don't think that the power extends to that.
Okay, so we'd have them explain some of the offenses that they can actually arrest persons for, okay?
Right. So you have
caller? Yeah. You gonna stay on the line?
No, I can't stay on the line forever. Other people are calling too.
All right. Thanks for your contribution this morning.
Okay.
All right.
Right. So some convictions, for example, because summary conviction without, in other words, you don't need a jury to basically try the crime, the minor crimes or petty. They may include like aggravated assault, minor drug possession, offensive language, disorderly behavior, prostitution, traffic violations, trespassing, petty theft, and drunk driving, things like that.
Okay.
So
we have another. Oh, okay.
so those are
Continue.
some of the summary convictions. I could before the caller comes. Also, there is what is called those that are conviction on indictments. In other words, there's enough evidence for an arrest, and you could go to court, or from the lower court, you could go to the higher court. For example, murder, rape, manslaughter, robbery, kidnapping, grand theft, burglary, arson, conspiracy, fraud. Those are could go from the lower court to magistrate, go to the higher court.
Okay. All right. So I recognize that someone was calling before. You can try calling back. Remember, the number to call to be interactive with us is 457-9997. Let's see this call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. Hope everything is okay with you. I just want to ask the learned people a question. You all know me already, so I don't have to go over again. Everybody would know me by now. My main concern right now is rule of law. And this is why, my brother, when we saw some very serious issues before, years ago, I said, we need change. We need a change where we could have rule of law. And what basically rule of law is that no man is above the law. No prime minister is above the law. No attorney general is above the law. No governor general is above the law. No police officer, no individual is above the law. And this is my problem. If you have a GP must, as the caller was saying before, must understand the role he plays. But if the role must be, adhered to without rule of law, and rule of law would mean then that just because, you know what, I don't have to follow the law. I could do certain people one thing and do certain people the other thing. And I'm saying I'm very, very, very hurt. I'm 63 years old, and I'm seeing in my life a kind of a behavior where some JPs, and I know my brother, one of my brother, because that is a very moral man, principled man, whether his party or whether he's in power, he's going to follow the rules. But look at the reality of what is happening with one case from the very highest Supreme Court. Doesn't it scale living day like that? If the very top people can literally put themselves in a very why would you have a judge making a ruling that is a case that is supposed to be extradition, that expect police, that affected police officers across the board, affected the ordinary man, the workers, the civil servants, the teachers, that did nothing wrong.
Hamo, what is the specific question that you have?
The question is then, for God's sake, if it is that the highest court are literally not adhering to rule of law, how then would the ordinary JP, what message are you sending to the GP, which is far lower than the highest court of the land? What is going to give you all that ability to say, you know what, I'm going to follow the law. I'm not going to discriminate against people. I'm not going to do this against one side because maybe for some political reason or for some other reason. What would stop you from basically following the very fundamental to say, I'm going to give every Vincentian, whatever their political or religious status, an equal opportunity for justice?
All right, so we have
going to stop you from that?
All
when
right,
it is
so
broken from the very highest level?
All right, we have the question, Hamo. Thanks. All right, thanks for your contribution.
God bless you all very much. Thank you.
As well.
Safety. Love you all very much.
Very Hamo. All right, so coming from Hamo's question, right? How are we so sure that JPs are fair across the board? And also let's tie into that as well. JPs are in a position where they know a lot of information. Can we actually trust you with our information?
Well, I administer my JP service without favor to anyone. Anyone who come to me, I do not question affiliation or anything. Once you need the service of a JP and you come to me, it's going to be done. I will do it within the rule of law and so on. If the law requires that I know you for 5 years before I sign this document, that's what I will do. I would never discriminate against any citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I took that oath.
Okay.
And there was called ethical responsibilities, the JP, and the objectivity, that is, must be impartial, show no favoritism or bias towards any party. So no matter what the affiliation, you must not be
bias, render justice within the framework of the law. We must also try to maintain order, respecting confidentiality. So people come to you with knowing that you're sworn to keep secrets, and we must be confidential, avoid conflict of interest. So, for example, I cannot necessarily sign a document for my relatives or, and even carrying my surname is not, so I could refer to another GP to help that individual, things like that.
Okay. All right. All right. So I recognize that two persons were trying to call, so you can try calling at this time. All right. So we've discussed many things this morning. But do you have an association? Is there a GP association? Okay, the call is back. Let's take this call quickly. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi. Morning. You're live.
Morning. Besides Justice of Peace, do you have is the police program?
Yes, it's Cop Chats. Yes.
And is the police there besides the Justice of the Peace?
No, it's
Justice of the Peace?
just the justices.
Okay. Is one of them Glasgow there?
No.
No Glasgow. One of the voices sound like a guy Glasgow. All right. So I don't have any questions for them. I thought I had another question that had to do with security, but
okay.
We'll have to leave it for another time. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right. We have another call here. Hi, caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Morning.
Go ahead. Morning. Go ahead.
I don't know if you ladies remember, there was one lady calling one morning.
I have it down.
Oh, you have it done?
I have it down, yes.
I jumped the gun there.
It's quite okay. You can go ahead and ask it though.
Yeah, because I wanted to get that point across. She had a dispute with a GP in her era. It seemed like the GP was using her powers against the lady. Where do this woman or this person or any human being who is being treated like that to go to get redress for, like a GP being rogue?
Yeah.
Okay. So we had a previous caller, not this program, but 2 weeks ago or so. She has a problem with the GP within her community, and she did not know where to go to, let's say, lodge a complaint against this individual. So who can somebody go to if they have an issue with a GP?
Okay. Well, that's actually it brings the question to bear about the JP not having an association, whereby that if we had a Justice of the Peace Association, that person would have gone to the association and make the complaint to the association about that particular JP. And then the association would have taken that matter up and whether to get the JP removed from office if is such serious within the scope of that. Because a JP can, as being appointed, they also can be removed from office if they bring the we don't have association yet, but if they bring the thing in disrepute.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Kojo, answer your question.
Yeah, I think so, because I thought she could have gone to the Attorney General, because I think you're appointed by the Attorney General.
Well, actually,
right?
no. So I actually asked the question yesterday because I remember the situation. So because GPs are appointed by the Governor General, they could go to the Governor General's office, right? And that's at Government House.
Right.
So that is where if somebody does need to find redress for whatever situation, they can go to Government House and the office of the Governor General. Okay.
Okay. Well, at least I'm glad that at least they have a place they could go.
Yes.
Because it's to me it's unfair that one person could have that power and no one could challenge the power. So that's all I was wondering.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right, Dianna.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I got distracted there. You were discussing about the association. You had finished making your point on that one.
Well, not completely,
Okay.
because I was looking at that as the first point of thing, not to trouble the governor general, although it's still
Yeah.
good that that person could have actually gone to the governor general. But if we have an association, which is an organized body, where people could lodge complaints against JP that is been using the office in a inappropriate manner, then I think it would really help the process in ensuring that we as JP keep the integrity of the organization together. So I'm really and want to ask other JPs to think about it, and let's form an association of justice of the peace, and then we can make representation to whether it's the governor general or the other authorities. We spoke earlier on about a stipend. We could actually make representation as a body. So that's something I've been thinking about for some time. I don't know what other JPs maybe think could be.
The other JP?
Excellent points. Very good. Because in that body, as you say, you could share information. You could, also cross-check with other GPs across the region, across the world, see what the system is like and things like that.
Okay, so we have Mike Charles, former commissioner Charles, is also saying a person can make a report of a GP to the police or take the GP to the court civilly, right? So civil court. So that is also another form of redress. All right, so we have another call, Dianna. Sorry.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question. What is the exact role of a JP during a caution statement? When the JP is witnessing a caution statement, what is the exact role of the JP being there?
Okay, the exact role is to ensure that the person who is being cautioned is not forced to give a statement, is not offer anything to give a statement, and they're doing it of their own free will. So that basically the police cannot, for instance, ask him to say things that the police might want to hear. The person have to give that statement of their own free will. And then the other important thing is that after the statement is given, the police officer has to read the statement back to the suspect. And if there is anything that he repeats in the statement that what the person did not say, the JP has a right to tell him no. I mean, for example, I had a situation where the statement was taken and the police may have write red, but the person said it's black. So with that, and the person, the suspect insists, I did not say red, I said black, and I could verify that. So when the JP is there, he must be very attentive to the statement that the suspect is giving to the police, so that when it's read back to him, it is in that very same order.
And additionally, if the suspect is given a statement, whether in dialect or in standard English, he or she have to write it in a way as the person expressed verbally. Then the JP will sign off or stamp, using a stamp and sign where it is placed where he's supposed to do so that they authenticate that statement.
Yeah.
Okay, caller.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All
right.
So
you want to expand on it?
Yeah, well,
Okay,
yes.
go ahead.
Well, the extension to that is that if that matter get to court, sometimes when you reach the court, the suspect may change the statement in court. Now, when that happens, the JP is then summoned to court, to attend court, to verify that the statement that is read is the exact statement that he would have listened to. So that usually be the case in terms of the JP role.
Okay, so my curiosity, do you get to keep a copy of these statements? Or is it that you have to remember everything? Because I think this is a lot to retain in your memory as well.
Well, you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to get the copy of the statement. But as a JP, because you would have been tentative, you know exactly the notation of how what the prisoner would have said. Because sometimes they go to court and change drastically.
Well, I guess that the police could present at the time your signed document for sure.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and we actually have come to the end of our interview here this morning. We were having our Cup Chat segment right here, and we were discussing the topic, the role and functions of a justice of the peace. And this morning we had two justices of the peace, two gentlemen in studio here with us. We had Mr. Gavin Jackson and Mr. Joel Woodley discussing the topic here this morning. Very important information to note, very necessary information that to note as well. At this point, I would like to give you the opportunity to leave the listeners with one final word that you think it's important for them to go with. Starting with Mr. Woodley.
Okay. Well, we as JP are within the community to serve the people throughout the length and breadth of St. Vincent. JP, remember, you can call your local police station to get the name of the JP in your area. Outside of that, the names of all the JP in St. Vincent and Grenadines are listed in the Gazette. Every January they're published with their occupation and so on. So you could actually refer to that list as well for JPs in your area.
Yeah, I serve a lot of people every week, whether it's a testimonial, birth certificate to sign, or serve the police. And we continue to do so with glee and happiness.
And with a open heart, I suppose. Open heart. All right.
All right. And with that, 9 o'clock on the dot, we have come to the end of our interview with our justices of the peace. And we will be bringing to you today